The time bucket function is an incredibly useful function for aggregating data in intervals of time. Now, we have about 30 entries of sample data in our tick table, but let's consider this table being populated with thousands, if not millions, of entries. Stock ticks move up and down and can occur very frequently, so instead of looking at every single tick entry, an analyst may want to see the average price of their stocks in specific time intervals, perhaps the average price every 5 minutes or every hour, and so on. Time bucket drastically simplifies what would ordinarily be a rather complex SQL statement. Let's run through some examples of querying for average prices, and let's first begin with a query that will just show the average price of each stock in my entire data set. Now, if I wanted to know the average price of my stocks between a certain time interval, let's say 5 minutes, between 10:55 and 11, I could just add a simple where clause and a between operator. But in a much more real scenario, I would want to see the average price of each stock every 5 minutes, not a specific 5-minute window. To accomplish this without time series functions would result in an incredibly complex query, but with a time bucket function, all we need to do is simply specify in the select statement to bucket the results in 5-minute intervals. The result of this relatively simple query with a time bucket function shows us the average price of each stock in 5-minute bucket segments. To further extend our query, we could even add the first and last functions to the select statement to see what the first and last prices of each stock were within 5-minute intervals. The time bucket function has two optional arguments. The time argument, similar to the first and last functions, can be left out if a series timestamp designation was already assigned to a column. The origin argument is provided when the query should bucket the time segments beginning at a desired offset. For example, if I wanted 5-minute buckets beginning at the 56-minute mark or at the 55 minutes and 30 seconds mark. In the following lab, we'll get some practice with the time bucket function.